Jigme Phuntsok Maybe not.
Or I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so this evening we are going to talk about the preparing of the meaningful death and rebirth. That is our topic. So I think this topic to understand important for everybody. Rather doesn't matter you are traditional followers or non-traditional followers, and especially doesn't matter you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist traditional followers. But this topic to understand important for everybody. The reason because we are already born in this earth, in this human realm. So therefore, sooner or later will be coming the death. Nobody wants to die, but nobody can stop the death. This is 100% sure. So therefore, it's a little bit about we to share each other how we going to responsibility during the death, you know. In this case, and firstly, I want to just say, all sentient beings have the same wish, want to be happiness and enjoyment. Nobody wants to be experiencing sufferings and pleasant feelings. That not only human beings, I'm saying all sentient beings. So the sentient beings, according to the Buddhist the philosophy point of view, the number can exist endlessly because the space is at no end. So therefore, the universe can extend endlessly. That's why whether it's with a form or without form, but the beings are existent numberlessly. So the numberless sentient beings, in briefly we can division into 6 different kind of realms. That's, as you know, 3 unfortunate lower realm beings and 3 upper fortune. So are the 3 unfortunate lower realm beings are hell realm being, hungry ghost realm being, and animal realm beings. They are unfortunately reborn, but their previous misdeed karma and non-merits loads accumulated non-merits, and of theirs that doesn't know how to purifications, they doesn't know how to do purifications. Finally, unfortunately, when they completed the needed actual cause and the actual conditions, and then fully repentance, result appears in unfortunately lower realm. So unfortunately, not only just being are born in this realm, but they are mainly suffering with the heat and the cold during the hell realm beings, during hundreds, thousands, even sometimes takes kalpas years. And being who unfortunately reborn in the hungry ghost realms, they are mainly suffering with the hungry and thirsty during hundreds years, sometimes takes thousands years in a life. And being who unfortunately reborn in the animal realms, as you know, most animals, they are mainly suffering with mental stupidity, blindness, mind, and also they are suffering with eating each other, killing each other. And some animals are also suffering with having not freedom under the force of human beings they are used. So that's why we say unfortunate 3 lower realm. Then another 3 fortune upper realm beings are God, semi-God, and human realm. That we say fortune realm beings, because fortunately they are enough accumulated merits and virtues, and on top have the dedicated aspiration prayer over and over for reborn higher fortune realm, and they did dedication aspiration for free unfortunate lower realm when they needed the actual cause and conditions completely, and then fully repents, the result comes into this fortune realm. Not only just born in this fortune realm, but they are fortunately could become more long life, more health, more wealth, and more harmony, and more peace, and more intelligent, even though in samsara. But that's why we say fortune realm. So, according to the Buddhist point of view, if you ask which is the most one of precious of these 6 realm beings, the answer is because depend to the worldly and beyond of worldly. If according to the answer of worldly, the modern way, and then of course the God realm is more precious because they are more long life, more healthy, more peace, and more powerful. The God realm, they have less chance of sufferings compared to even human realm. But the answer is according to the Dharma way, super modern way. Then we said human birth, the human realm is as the most one precious among these 6 realm beings. The reason because these precious, the human birth, the human body, you can do practice the fully of all the Shakyamuni Buddha's sense of the subsequent Hinayana traditions teaching up to of the Mahayana Sutra and Tantric in great perfection, Dzogchen, so on, fully. Without this human body, some of Buddha's teaching you cannot receive. Some of external Vinayana vow, some internal of the Mahayana vow, and some of secret Tantric vow. Receiving the tantric vow, so on is important, the physical of this human body with the channels, bindus, and the energies. As missing about these 3, the channel, bindu, energy of the human body, and have no power, cannot be the vessels of the receiving of Buddhas of some the highest tantric teaching, so on. That's why, according to the Buddhist philosophy point, the answer we said the human birth is most one precious among these 6 realm or among these samsara. But inside in the human realm, not everybody same quality, of course, as you know, especially is within the 18 qualities, which is 8 freedoms and with 10 endowments. So this is most one precious, the very rare, very difficult to find this, but we are lucky. We are really fortunately at the moments we found how to form this precious human body. So we should be recognize yourself as how wonderful, this precious human body with an 18 qualities, how difficult to form but obtain, but we found finally. But that means is how many times we found this precious human body. It's very, very rare. So like the star appears in the state of daytimes, how difficult, it's more rare to form this precious human body. Unfortunately, it's more easy to born unfortunate three low realms, more than like easy to form the star appears in the night in the sky. So therefore, you should be first to recognition how difficult to obtain this precious human body. And there are questions how long could belongs to you this precious human body, but I think nobody can answer. The reason because life is impermanence. So we never know when comes to us the actual cause and conditions for death, So will be possibilities death can exist in this week, in this month, on this year, on this age. We know already how many of friends or people, some is younger than you, some is same age, some is older, but already passed, how many. So that means the life is impermanent very much. Not only life, actually is all the compounded phenomena are impermanence, Buddha says, because originated by the interdependently. So therefore, there's no certainty, everything, but impermanence. But unfortunately, we are yet not realization. We are meant is of sure some of you already realization the true nature, but most we are yet not realization the true nature reality. So therefore, we are overhanding to truly existent of the phenomena appearances. So this is the ignorant, The problems if we too much trust to everything to what apparent are inherently existent, and these performing our negative emotions more strong, If our negative emotions are to be too strong, and this very much obscured to our reality, nature mind. Actually, our nature mind is as primordially pure and primordially unborn nature, Dharma sphere, and the essential is as a luminosity spontaneously. But unfortunately, we cannot realization easily because in circumstantially apparent of obscuration of delusion and karma. So therefore, obscured to the nature mind. This is the problem. So in this case, it's important we to know, how to be freedom from such of a too dualistic grasping mind, how to be can freedom from the obscuration of delusions and the karma, so on. So this generally I'm saying important to know. And then on top, not enough only understanding the impermanence of this life, but we should also trust to the natural law, karma of cause and effect. The natural rule, karma of cause and effect means is the whatever comes to us, the experiencing happiness or suffering, both are very much dependent to the similar cause and similar conditions. Without cause and without conditions, cannot be experiencing by automatically and by causelessly, no possible. Because by the logic, if they are not dependent to the cause and conditions, then once arising happiness and forever must be existing, but that's not the case, not true. Once comes chance suffering and then forever must be suffering, but that also not true. That means is why is both happiness and suffering is changeable, because it depends to the cause and depend conditions, So in this case, what is the right cause and right condition for happiness and suffering? Because the result are positive means is negative, and then must be depend to the cause or condition also negative. If the experiencing fully repentance result is as positive happiness, and 100% sure logically that must be depend to the similar cause of positive karma and the positive achieving the conditions, so on. So that means it's a natural law, karma of cause and effect, we can say. So there's one important thing. This is why we say nature or reality law. Nature. That means is whether you believe karma of cause and effect or not. That is not, the case. So we cannot beyond to the nature rule. That's nature. Not that is a country's rule. If some country's special rule, you can beyond because you can live out from this country, then you are also free from this law. This natural law, karma, cause and effect, is created better of some powerful kings, queens. Still, you can escape, and then you can free from this law. But even though this natural law, cause and effect, is created better of traditional, like Buddhist only, and then also you can skip, away from of this Buddhist tradition, then you are freedom from the natural law, cause and effect. But that's not natural, So we're talking, I'm just mentioning, you say natural law. So nobody can, there's no exceptions, cannot beyond to this natural rule. In this case, it's important, we should to know very early age. Right now, we are still, as most of you can see, as you are young, and I believe you are also health good enough at the moment. So, and then also, it's sure, it's 99% is you have already freedom, what do you like to do or what do you doesn't like to do, that's your choice. So in this case, it's exactly the needed, the conditions enough for preparation to the future life and preparation for the death, and the rebirth, So in this case, today we are going to be talking about the preparing of the meaningful death and meaningful rebirth. So, in this case, first, maybe a little bit, firstly, I want to share you a little bit. It is really can be next rebirth comes again, because in this world, even human being, we say very clever, very intelligent, but still not everybody same. Some group, they believe reincarnation, 100% we will be reborn again and again. And some other group that doesn't believe the reincarnation totally, and some other group have no idea, maybe, with a doubt, maybe reincarnation, maybe not, So now the answer, the questions is could be, can both possibilities true? No, this is not possible. Must be truth is only one of these two, yes or not, the reincarnation, because this is contrary, the questions is the opposite of the two. As a reincarnation or without reincarnation. So therefore, cannot be both, So therefore, important, we need to research about which one is true. Someone believe reincarnation, that is true, more logical, or someone believe without reincarnation, that is more logical, more reasonable. So we need to judge and check, But according to the Buddhist, not only Buddhist, but of course, it's many other traditions also believe reincarnation, but particularly in the Buddhism, they believe very much reincarnation, 100%. They believe. So I'm the one of the follower of the tradition. So therefore, I also believe very much reincarnation, 100%. But now the questions are how we believe 100% is the reincarnation. Because the reincarnation is kind of like hidden phenomena, So therefore, how we say 100% is sure is reincarnation. In this case, a little bit, because important, this is for today our topic, Because if you have no idea to thinking about the reincarnation, and then no makes sense to preparation for, the meaningful death and meaningful rebirth, That means it's already, if you have idea to thinking and believe or trust reincarnation, that makes sense, this topic, right? So in this case, first, a little bit and really want to, of course, most of you believe already reincarnation, but some in case is not clear. So in this case, so why doesn't believe as a some group the reincarnation that doesn't believe? The reason because we understand that our ordinary, the human 5 faculties, what we can see directly, the form, sound, smell, taste, contact, or so on. So this continuity, the 5 sense, the faculties, or the continuity of 5 element lineage, substantial physical lineage is very clear. There's no need without any doubt. It's from parents. That's very clear. The genes, genes from father and from mother. And these continuities from our grandfather and grandmother and go back to hundreds of years, thousands, millions of years. Maybe if we believe the Tibetan system says maybe the substage of physical energy transformations changes from maybe animal, the monkeys, not monk, but monkeys. And then this also could not be as a first place, sure, and then go back and millions of years, and then is this transformation substance of physical energy progress from sea animal, maybe it's jellyfish, for example. And that also cannot be, they automatically suddenly appears there. Must be this also the substantial lineage comes from the seal, the tiny quark. So the tiny cell, the quark also created after the Big Bang. So the Big Bang maybe probably must be depend to the another Big Bang. So that means is the substance of the physical lineage, how it comes on this world. So that's what we understand from scientific way. So what is a reincarnation? That doesn't mean it's a reincarnation, So therefore, when it comes to us, the death, and that times what happened is when the heartbeat will be stopping, and the breathing circulation stopped, and the nerve functions are stopping exhaustion, and then it's start the physical, the elements, the coarse level physical or tangible body will be dissolving into subtler elements, which means is a flesh element will be dissolving into the ground element, the blood element will be dissolving into the water elements, and our breathing circulation element will be dissolving into the air or wind, and the temperature of our body element will be dissolved into the fire, and also as the qualities of our body as it will be dissolved into space. That is the ending in this life, the physical lineage, This we understand. So therefore, now where is next rebirth? That's the questions, because everything's exhaustion into the four element explodes into atoms. So that doesn't mean it's a reincarnation, So therefore, is the song I mentioned you, even the human beings very clever, but still they doubt to the reincarnation, They trust only life is existent this time, the once time only. But now, according to the who believes the reincarnation, and especially in Buddhist, because firstly we should be to understand what is the basics, the fundamental of the person. Is enough only the action of physical body that can be the basics of the person or not? Without consciousness, without mind, without recognition, without perception, without clarity, awareness, the continuity, clarity, awareness, only is the physical body that can be the best of person? I think not. Because that can be corpse or the dead body, without consciousness. So, in this case now, how you believe we are alive, very alive, means is not only physically, but on top is mentally. What is mentally? Means is mental, the quality, clarity, awareness, the continuity, clarity, awareness, or clear and knowing. So this is the characteristics of our consciousness. If you ask what is the different characteristics between our physical body and mental body, so my answer is the physically, is created better of a collection of particle, the matters, materiality. Means is according to Buddhist philosophy, we say four elements, collected of four elements: earth element, water element, wind element, fire element. Sometimes we can add one more, space element, This 4 or 5 elements. This is the fundamental of this physical, the body, But the consciousness, what is consciousness? The clarity, awareness. Clearly, I can speak to you, and you clearly can listen what I'm talking. Not only you listen clearly, but you understand, what I'm saying, So this is not understand from physical of the eye faculties, air faculties, nose faculties, better physical faculties, not. Even not understand is the neuron function only. The neuron, the brain, the neuron, nerves, not only. The neuron or the nerves only is the conditions to understand, condition. The physical, the 5 sense faculties are the condition, the dominant condition to understand, to perceiving form, sound, smell, taste, contact, and tactile sensation, so on. But doesn't mean is consciousness, clarity, awareness is a same definition of our physical body. Totally is different. So in this case, even though you cannot realization what kind like your mind, you cannot mean is there's no shape, no color, no size, So therefore, it's difficult to say what kind like your mind, or perception or consciousness. But still, you can feel very much clearly, as mentioned, the clarity they have power, arresting the reflection of object of knowledge on your mind, clearly arresting. Not only can arresting the reflection object of knowledge appears on your mind, but you can aware clearly which is pleasant, which is unpleasant, and which is neutral. The reflection of object of knowledge. That means is that we have power of the awareness or knowing. So these two qualities, the definition of our consciousness, the clarity, awareness, is at the character of our consciousness or mind. That is consciousness. And the physical nature is totally 100% sure is lacking the lack of the clarity awareness. Because earth nature, not clarity awareness. Water nature cannot be clarity awareness. Wind nature, fire nature cannot be clarity awareness. Even though the space element nature cannot be clarity awareness. That means is the genes from father and mother, the both our nature is not clarity and not awareness. Means the non-clarity and non-awareness. So therefore they have no quality to performing this consciousness, clarity, awareness from 4 elements or 5 elements or from the 2 genes. It's not possible. Only is the 2 genes, the 4 or 5 elements can producing this physical body. That's 100% sure. It's clear. The physical lineage is from parents. But the mental lineage is not from parents, So that's why sometimes our parents are very intelligent, very peaceful, very, the compassionate, but unfortunately some kids is opposite, the qualities, totally born naturally is opposite. Sometimes the parents is very, the negativity, but the born naturally as the kids is very peaceful and compassionate and very, qualified. That means it's because different lineage, mental lineage. But physical is, if that's, this born from the real parents, and that is 99% you can see very similar, everything from parents, physically. Even the verbally, the speed, the sound also similar from parents, the speed, because the system similar. But the thought is not similar from parents. Father or mother is a very holy incarnation, but it can be born sometimes very lower beings. Sometimes even as a lower parents, but it can very reincarnation born of the holy person, comes to just naturally. That means is the reincarnation, the fundamental is not physical body. The mental, the clarity, awareness is at the basics of the reincarnation. So, however, in this case, is we need to little bit understand the reincarnation is possibilities. So, only the physical, external physical body, internal mental body are very much related in the moments, as long as we are very alive, but doesn't mean it's the same definition, doesn't mean the same characteristics between body and mind is different, but just connected each other at the moments. So, in this way now, if you can feel the reincarnation is a possibility, and then the consciousness is born from, if not parents, and then born from past life. Past life means is, sound is very far, is it? We are coming from past life. We are born from past life. Sound is very far. But if you research, if you check up, clearly follow perfect logic and perfect reasoning, and then it's very close. Past life and present life and future, the 3 lifetimes is very close. Only 3 moments difference, past life, present and future life. That means is actually our life is impermanence, I mentioned you, but impermanence in briefly we can division into 2 categories, which is coarse level impermanence of continuity and the subtle level impermanence of reality. So the nature impermanence is the reality, subtle level momentarily. In this case, this physical body momentarily comes from, this today what we can have this physical body because the early morning. This early morning lasts the last day, and that means since born from mother's womb comes this physical lineage, as mentioned you, and this also is the pregnant says from the embryo progress from the two genes from father and mother. I mentioned you the physical lineage momentarily change. That's why it progress. Similarly, the mental body, our consciousness, at the present moment now, you can have perception. I have also my perception, the continuity, clarity, awareness. But moment change, So therefore, the present moment clarity awareness born, just the pervading the moment of the last moment clarity awareness, and the last moment is also another last moment. That means is early morning and last evening and yesterday and day before yesterday. The continuity clarity awareness go back, and then is just moment giving birth to mothers. At that time, the continuity. The clarity awareness comes from mother's womb, and that is this first moment the clarity awareness beginning in the mother's womb, not from genes. It's from the last moment the clarity awareness continuity of part of existence during the past life. That is the cause, and the present moment the clarity awareness in the mother's womb, the embryo, that is the effect. So therefore, only two moments is different in this life. And past life is only two moments, because the last moment of clarity, awareness, continuity of the part of being is the cause. And the first moment of clarity, awareness, the embryo in the mother's womb, that is the effect. So only two moments, right? We're born in mother's womb in this life, and we're coming from past life means only two moments. So this is the reality, impermanence. And death also 100% same this logic is tomorrow when you wake up, still continuity the clarity awareness, because the projection clarity awareness before you are approaching sleeping, that times with the clarity awareness. That's why when you wake up from the moment sleeping, the clarity awareness comes to us. So this continuity go to in the last moment clarity awareness of this life. I mentioned you before, everything stopped, and then is the five sense source consciousness dissolving into the mental conceptuality dissolving into the non-thought, and non-conceptuality mind dissolving into, there's four types different actually, but that's we not going very detailed today, but however, is dissolving into the afflictive emotion consciousness. Afflictive emotion consciousness will be dissolved into alaya consciousness, alaya Sanskriti language, but however is the best of all consciousness. And best of all consciousness will be dissolving into the Isa of best, the best of all. And this best of all continuity, clarity, awareness will be dissolving into the best clear light. So the best clear light is the fundamental of our course level perception. The best clear light is the basics of samsara and nirvana. Actually, the fundamental means the best clear light is the continuity, the clarity, awareness of best clear light is as the fundamental of samsara in nirvana, which means if you cannot recognize the true nature, best clear light of yourself, and then as we are wandering into samsara. In case some of you, if you can realization, true nature, best clear light, better your primordial wisdom mind, and then you will be enlightenment. That means it's a nirvana, So these best clear light, when they will be exhausting and then simultaneously separation from your physical body, that means it's the last moment of clarity, awareness of this life is as the cause. And the next moment, the future means it's the next moment of clarity, awareness of the first moment of part of existence, part of becoming, that is the effect. So know what difference next rebirth and this life is only two moments difference. This life and the part of being, next rebirth means is the part of being, intermediate state beings. And then these intermediate state beings are reborn in next rebirth, maybe human realm, maybe it's animal realms, so it depends. Your projection karma and depending to your achieving conditions, so on. So therefore, in this case, we can understand that the reincarnation is very, very logical and possible. That's normally. And then spiritually, the easy, simple, but it's very, very the strongly proofs how reincarnation. What is the evidence of the proofs of the reincarnation among this human realm? Just born naturally, some kids they remember their past life very clearly. That is not only traditional family, not only from the Buddhist, but even as non-traditional families sometimes can, some kids, they can remember very clearly their past life. And they're talking, since they start to speak like 3 years old, 4 years old, they're more clear. If in case they remember, then it's more clear if they're young, because very fresh, still the feeling very close to the past life. So therefore very clear, they can speak. So not only they speak their past life, but we can form the proofs. The kids, what they say, the small child who are talking. The child have no idea to cheating us. There's no reason to lie. Even have plan to lie, but they doesn't know how to lie because too small, right? So therefore easy we can judge, check what he says to form the proofs. Or say at home was in my past life, parents, the name is and the place or something, what was happened. Then you go to research exactly as you can form. This we have many proofs, many evidence from outside and inside in Tibet, so on. Even this century, you can form the proofs with logic. So one or two or several proofs, 100% true, reincarnated, and then we no need doubt. We are reincarnated because same lineage, same system, same style. Is a human style, like bamboo tree is 1, 2, 3, 4. You cut the bamboo tree with the hole and the joint. Then you don't need to shape whole forest of the bamboo tree to understand what is the nature. You can judge, 100% because same lineage, same family, similar. So in this case, also it's very good. This is a simple, but it's a very powerful proof, the reincarnation. So therefore, we not need doubt to reincarnation. Of course, if you believe already you are like Buddhist, then it's easy because Buddha can tell you the reincarnation, Bodhisattva can speak you incarnation, the holy, the Mahasiddhi achievement, they can clear ones, they can recognize your past life. But unfortunately, yet not you are, believe in this tradition, then that doesn't work. Right? So therefore, follow the logic and follow the reason as more proofs for you. So anyway, that's just briefly how we are talking about the reincarnation. So now, in this case, today our topic, what we should do for future life. Is we can do the good things from now. We can preparing for future, the meaningful death and meaningful rebirth. Yes, very much important from now. So the preparation for death and the rebirth, the meaningful death and meaningful rebirth. Okay, I'm looking at the time. No, okay, all right. So straight, you go. Because usually in general my talk is 2 hours without a break. So therefore sometimes I'm forgetting, but today I know we have 3 hours, so it must be short break. So that's why. Anyway, so the preparation of the death. The preparation and the short preparation, the two. The long preparation means is since you grow up until between death, as much can important. We try to cultivating on the positive emotion and try to collect the positive merits, collecting of the merits and positive actions as much can, and as much we can try to avoiding the negative actions and negative emotions. That is as usually we can say. And particularly when they're approaching nearly the death comes, that times what we should do, what we can do some benefit for you and for others. The condition, we say projection cause, the actual cause of projection, karma, and achieving the favorable conditions. These two cause and condition. So the projection condition, the karma, that is of course depend even from past life and depend in this life. is what you did during your life very much depend. And the achieving conditions and during the moment when they are raising of the death, that times what you can do, for you and the good things you can do yourself and to others. That's the other questions, So in this case, what I'm saying now, because the while of your life, during your life, the imprint of your karma, the imprint, your actions, already stored on the stem, the continuity, the stem of your mind, that is the base of all consciousness. Stored, the imprint of your past actions, stored on the stem of the alaya, the base of all consciousness. Like the seed, like the farmer planted the seed in the ground. So the dry seed. And then is when will be germinate the seed? When is seedlings will be, from the seed? The answer is because depend the conditions, So similarly, everybody had already sown the seed of karma on your mind, on your conscious, the clarity, awareness, continuity, base of all consciousness. But the seedlings, as comes to you sooner or later, is depend the achieving conditions. So in this case, during the death, is very important one is to focus as much you can on the positive emotion yourself. Focus the dying person yourself to focus as much you can on the positive emotion, which is compassion, loving kindness emotion, tolerance, forgiveness, patience, pure wisdom, some empathy, mind or something. Anyway, is focused on the something is the relaxation, restness, and peaceful. Peacefully. Your mind focus on the like this way. Because the positive emotion and negative emotion is contrary, opposite. So therefore, is the one moment and the same person, the continuity of the mind cannot be existent together. Two same storm of the positive and negative. Like temperature, heat and cold cannot be existent in the same storm in the same place and same moments. Cannot. So therefore, if you can focus on the positive emotion during the death more, and you have less chance comes to the negative emotion. That is the favorable condition, the right favorable achieving condition for good, meaningful death and for meaningful rebirth. Very important, the influence, Otherwise, most problems is because we worry very much the death, comes. You understand because the doctor says, medical doctor says, oh, sorry, I cannot do now anymore. The medicine doesn't work, and the doctor leave us. And then is you also feel is that is 100% sure is the cause of the death. And the wrong people or friend also they know is they're concerned you are going to die. So, and therefore, there's no hope, is then what you do? And then they are despondent and regret, sad, and very much, of course, the physically pain, but even mentally more, painfulness than even physical pain, because the worry. Why they worry? We can imagine. Because we have very much attachment to this world, this life. Everything, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can taste, what you can contact. The pleasures, form, sound, smell, taste, contact, and tactile sensations, so on. We have attachment very much about this. And how the beautiful appearances of phenomena of mountains, rivers, flowers, trees, space, stars, and also our friends, our children, or partners, or grandchildren, or so on, we have very much attachment, to them. We're very hard to separate them, very difficult to separation them, but no choice, And then particularly attachment to the possessions, Possessions means the welfare. What you have the wealth, the economy. Something is like the monies or your house, or the expensive house, or expensive cars, or the money is in the bank, so many, because during was 30, 40 years collected the hardships with, finally you let it be collected, but unfortunately you cannot use by yourself and leave behind there and separate from them. So therefore it's an attachment very much to them, very painfulness, and then very worry very much, and jealousy also very much, because he or herself cannot use, This what he or she thinking is, this is my money, my money. I don't share you, that's mine. But unfortunately now this is yours, but now cannot be yours anymore. Whether you like or not, must be left behind. Somebody further use, these others. So therefore jealousy also very much. So many reasons is painful. The death is very painful. Not only physical pain, but the mental pain, the mental worry comes to us. So in this case, is the more problems, the obstacles, the negative emotion, desire, attachment, craving, the emotion. This is the more problem, the jealousy. To us mention you such of the pleasant the things, object. So in this case, important, we need to understand all these are illusion. Doesn't matter if appearances is very pleasant or not, but it's illusion. Appearances illusorily, because originated by the interdependently. And do not forget the impermanence. This reality is impermanence. So impermanence is pervading equally for everybody. There's no exceptions. Even as a king, as queens, ministers, president cannot be of the natural law of this impermanence. So therefore, of course, we are simple, normal persons should leave behind these things, but even those powerful people, they cannot carry into, even one coin cannot carry into the next rebirth, very clear. But some of the king powerful, even their dead completely, but still they ask a request to them is bearing with them the gold, the servers enter the ground, but doesn't work. But anyways, attachment, you see, they cannot use this life, but still they ask a request to live, bearing with his body. So today you cemetery, you open them, there's found many gold, servers, the servers from them. Gold is still pure, isn't it, in the ground. But he or her, the body already, it's like ground, ground or stone, like stone, already, completely exposed, completely decayed, so decomposed, completely, But the gold is still gold underground. You see, attachment is like that, or that's why it's difficult, So therefore, we should be understand that's not only one person. That's everybody is only to go in this way. The reason, because it's all the compounded phenomena are impermanence, Shakyamuni Buddha says. But that's true, right? All the compounded phenomena are, impermanent because originated by the interdependently. So the compounded phenomena, especially what is make us uncomfortable feeling, and the separation from good friend is very painful, suffering. Nobody wants to separate from good friend, good relations. But unfortunately, nobody can keep the relations continuously. So the separation is the end of a meeting. That's natural law. And the exhaustion is the end of the collection. Nobody like to be exhaustion of he or her collections, but no possibilities endlessly. So therefore, the exhaustion is the end of the collection. Even the kings, queens, And that is falling down. The downfall is the end of the elevated positions of the development state. So nobody can progress endlessly, but even though no stop, but it's falling, finally down. Like building, it's collapse finally. And is nobody want to die, I mentioned you, but is death 100% is come to us sooner or later, after birth. So death is the end of birth. So that's the reason, because compounded phenomena are impermanence. Why I'm talking this? Because this is true. If you can keep in the mind the truth, then you have less suffering. Because that's the truth. Truth cannot change. Then why worry? Worry doesn't work. That is why in the Arya Deva, in the text, the Chandadeva, he says, got the juice, you know, tell Murkashi, got the juice, man, tell Murkashi, Japan, I just quoted one verse on Tibetan language. But anyway, it's, you know, why unhappy if he or she can, something is, can prevent it, if it can change. And then why you worry? Because it can change. You know, you do try to change it, don't worry. But then it's the further he says, is what is the use, you know, to worry if he or she cannot prevent it, if it cannot change. That's reality, if that's nature, then worry doesn't make sense, you know, make more worry, you know, bring more suffering. So therefore, either, you know, can change or not, don't worry. Because if can change, no need to worry, because can change, try, right? That is. If you see 100% there's no possibility to change, then still say, don't worry, because worry doesn't work, because it cannot change. It's a make for more worry for you, suffering. That means is we need to understand reality. That means you should be accept these problems. These problems not only you, that's nature, that's reality. Then why you cannot accept this? You know, everybody. So during that moment you feel is that you are only one, the death of this world, but not true. Thousands, billions already going same way at the same moments, you know. And everybody we are already land, you know, to going this way. Step and step, one after another comes to you. So they're same this way. So that not only you or only me, not. So you understand that's nature, then you have less suffering. Because that's normal, it's reality. We are born and dead. So that's why we need to remember now, preparation to know. Because many people, we have no idea to thinking about this kind of the death, you know. We believe it's a natural feeling is we can live on this world with this body like hundreds of years, thousands of years can live. That's natural feeling. But of course, in fact, it's even hard to become 100 years old, you know, not easy, you know. But naturally we feel, oh, very stable, my life can be thousands years. So that's nature, but not true. It's deceiving oneself. That's why suddenly when comes death, unbelievable. You know, they say, oh, no, I don't believe. Because I'm okay yesterday, you know, I'm fine, you know, last week. Why suddenly? No, this is not true. You know, because there was too much trust. Everything was apparent, but that's not. So in this case, we need to understand that death is as normal for everybody. Actually, I mentioned you, if you understand that the subtle death, the momentary change, and there's no difference as normal. The ultimate death is already, you know, today in this class, not nearly 1 hour already. That means during this 1 hour, we 100 times already dead. Do you believe? Yes, 100. That means we already born newly 100 times, more than, you know, 1,000 times, more than during this 1 hour. So we dead and already we are born newly, more than over 1,000 times during these 1 hour. So there's no difference comes the death. Also exactly is because of momentarily change. That is. So actually, it's, according to the ultimately, we say momentarily dead, but that momentary is cannot die never, ever. Make sense? We say momentarily we are dead, but is it the natural momentary will never die. Means we are free from the death actually. Because the continuity can exist in sense-born beginningless in samsara till enlightenment. There's no death. Only difference of death and birth is grow up of this continuity, the consciousness, and the lineage of physical and mental, and exhaustion into subtle the lineage continuity. That is we recommend or death and birth. You know, death and birth, but its nature is will never die. The continuity, but momentarily we mention you 100,000 times as normal, a usual change. So therefore, this is understood by yourself and others also to explain. Don't worry, you know, death is normal. And especially, that's my image, what I can concern. If I doesn't believe reincarnation, if I doesn't trust reincarnation comes me to the death, sure, for me it's more painful, more suffering, more worry, more panic, much more. The reason? Because I doesn't believe totally next rebirth, the life is only one time and then there's no hope. Again comes the chance, opportunity, the experiencing of this beautiful world. like extinction of the fire. It's gone totally. So if life is only one time existent, then everything's lost forever. So forever, no chance to again, so therefore no hope. It's totally hopeless. If it doesn't believe reincarnation, you see, I think you can imagine during the moments of death comes to you, who believe reincarnation, who doesn't believe 100% reincarnation. If I doesn't believe 100% reincarnation, I'm sure more painful for me. Because everything's gone. Have no hope, never again ever comes to this chance opportunity, right? Therefore, it's very sad. But if who believes reincarnation, it's not bad. Because it comes to, especially maybe you are too old and your body is an unhealthy sickness, and then maybe it's better to pass away. Because to very freshness, new baby comes again, you are, very everything's freshness, just next year. Really? Yes, really. So hope, that means hope, we have hope. So therefore, it's not we lose everything, so losing not everything. So that is why important to understand. Even I'm saying in case, if not true reincarnation, still better to thinking reincarnation. Right? Does it make sense? Yes, even. But actually, it's 100%. I mentioned your impermanence with logic and reason, the proofs. There are reincarnation, but in case, even though there is no reincarnation, still better to focus on reincarnation during the death. It's helpful, it's useful, very much. But the one thing is, if long preparation, if not good, during your life, physically and verbally, mentally, your actions on the negative. Fully almost, then it's too strong negative, then there's another worry comes to you. Because immediate next rebirth will be falling maybe in the hell realm, hanging ghost realm, animal realm, then they're scared, right? This person, maybe they hope no reincarnation. It's better no reincarnation. This is the exception problems, So therefore, we need to, the long preparation is right now. Is really we need to prepare cultivating on the positive emotion and positive actions as much you can less negative. But we are ordinary, we are already created negatives, but chance one good qualities, what is purifications. The negative action, the negative karma gave you chance to purifications. So you should not have to experience suffering from negative karma because in chance you have purifications. And this you can do. Even very strong negative, as karma kills one's own father and mother, very strong negative, usually with this negative directly immediate next to falling in hell realm, and Buddha says, but still can have chance to purifications. You can do purification in this life. That means you not necessarily have to fall in low realm. After purification and then collective merits, you will be reborn higher fortune realm. So therefore we have two options now. The one is for purification, and one is to collective merits and avoiding non-merits now, the rest of our life. It's good. We don't need very big changes. You can still go in normal way, normal life, and take care of your family, your kids, and keep your work, your job in normal way. But try to change your motivation is as much can on the positive emotion, as much can in less and less negative emotion. Shakyamuni Buddha says, even if you cannot do benefit as much to other sentient beings, at least do not harming nobody. If this kind of motivation comes to your heart, and then your action physically, verbally, mentally become virtue. Positive, naturally, because your motivation, you said, Buddha, I will repeat again, said, even if you cannot do benefit other sentient beings, at least do not thinking harming to others. So that is practice. That is a virtue. That is merits. That is the method to stopping the negative actions. Then naturally everything around your actions become virtue. So this is the important for the long preparation for the meaningful death and meaningful rebirth. And then the moments of the death comes, conditions are just. Maybe we maybe here is going to a little bit question and answers, maybe better before the break, the short break. We have 10 minutes. We're going to maybe questions, answers. Stop here. Sometimes when I start in love, I cannot stop. So anybody, do you have any questions? We have for 10 minutes for questions.
Clarification on, you're saying the continuity awareness entering the physical at the birth of the next birth, or the conception, the sperm hits the egg, or somewhere in between. When is the consciousness entering?
All right. So because actually the birth, rebirth, we can division into 3 possibilities: being who born from womb, being who can born from eggs, being who can some beings can born from moisture and liquid, and being who some being who is born from miracle. So birth, rebirth can division into these 4 types, different kind of birth. Even human being can division into these 4 types possibilities. Of course, over 99.99 is we are born from mother's womb, but the rest % is can be born from other types. Like for example, Guru Pama Sambhava was born numerically, not womb, not egg, even not from moisture and liquid, And then one in the end, this is a long story, Ngali, the king, Ngali, the Dharma king, he born from the eggs, egg, not from womb, and so on. And that is the one, is the Shakyamuni lineage, not Shakyamuni Buddha, but the family lineage, the very first one, the Shakya lineage is born from moisture and liquid, not from womb, not from egg. So, but we are, of course, over 99 more than we are born from mother's womb. So therefore, even human being can be that 4 types birth. But of course, samsara, the beings can division in the 4 types birth. So, in this way, generally, and according to the human being, because next rebirth, we don't know from this life is we are human being, but we will be born in the animal realms, or we will be born again in the human realms, or so on. Because from this life, a human being, next rebirth can be animal. This life, from this life is animals, but immediate next rebirth can be is a human being, However, now let's talk, is this life also human, but next life immediate also again born in the human realm, and the Bardo beings now. The intermediate state of Bardo beings. What means is intermediate state Bardo beings when the consciousness separated from this physical body after it stopped everything, so the functioning of heart, the breathing, and then the nerve functions, and then the vessel clearly exhausted, and then is consciousness separation from this body, but yet not reborn next rebirth. Between there, we call it intermediate state existent beings or intermediate state becoming. So these becoming beings only mental body, mentally existent, but cannot physically existent, because yet not found the next body, but it lost already the previous body. So between there is like dream, almost similar like dreaming body, similar. So this is we said Bardo being. So these Bardo beings, the clarity, awareness, the continuity consciousness could be penetrated into the between two genes from father and from mother in the mother's womb, if next rebirth we born in the womb. But now question is, how could we can penetrate into these 2 genes from father and mother, the karmic connections? The Bardo beings and future parents must be the same capacity, same the level of capabilities. Meant is that the Bardo beings very low or too higher than the merits of future parents, and then cannot. But must be same equal quality, equal merits. I mean merits, not quality, but merit is same. Even the same equal merits, but still not easy to born these parents, because there must be the karmic connections. Need to these Bardo beings can become to this future, the male and female become parents or not. It's a karmic connection they need, And then on top also, of course, there must be need to merging together the 2 cells from father, the sperm and the genes, and the ovum, the red eggs from mother, is the blood, so the red egg. These two must be merging together, meeting. Otherwise, the Bardoping cannot penetrate into this mother's womb. Even these two genes is merging, but if these are mentioned, there is no karma, cannot penetrate into there. Even if karma and merging, but if unpure, in the text they said the two cells, the cells from father and mother is not pure. Unpure means a disease. With the disease cannot. And then when they completed the capacity, merging together, and the pure and karmic connections, linking, connected, and then the Bardoping can penetrate, the mental consciousness can penetrate into or entering into the between two genes. And then that means that moment is the first moment of the embryo exists in the mother's womb. We thought this was a karmic energy, tantric word karmic energy. Normal we say consciousness. So because consciousness carrying in the karmic energy, like dream. In the dream you can go in there and here, right? We are sleeping here. The Dorje Center here you're sleeping, but just after falling asleep and your mentally energies you can go into the another New York or something, or New Delhi or something, Podala and Tibet or so on. That's the mental energy. Energy carrying better of karmic energy, carrying your vision is they become illusory. So go to many different feeling, your nature feeling. Like similarly, how can your Bardoping's consciousness penetrate into mother's womb because carrying this karmic connection, they're linking into future parents. So therefore, it's missing karmic energies only alone the two genes. No possible, the embryo cannot be live. But of course, medical science, they believe merging these two genes only, that is embryo, can exist in there. Because the reason, what is most important is the power to recognize the microscope. Right? But the microscope can see only the genes from father and mother, but the energy, karmic energy is beyond at the moment the object of a microscope. So therefore, even microscope the powerful one, the magnetation, very but cannot see the consciousness. Because if you see microscope to me, can you see my mind? No. So therefore, between the two cells, the karmic energy also cannot see. When the microscope one day can read my motivation, my mind, and that means they one day can see between the two genes in the embryo, but yet not. So therefore, there doesn't believe there are some extra, only two genes, But according to Buddhist philosophy, yes, these two genes merging together very important because the physical body performing from the genes I mentioned you, but the mental body, consciousness cannot produce it from two genes, different quality. As earlier I mentioned you, the clarity awareness is the cause of consciousness, and the physical body is not creating for clarity awareness. So therefore, this clarity awareness now, how comes from the genes? Even maybe you can image a little bit. Two, very intelligent, the clever, the awareness, the power, alertness. How can born this earth, this water, this fire element, this something like this blood, these two drops? How can they have no power? Comes this clarity awareness. So therefore, this is from the karmic energy. So merging these three, karmic energy or the consciousness from past life and the genes from parents, these are the three that is simultaneously they're dependent to each other. Then very life, the embryo existent in the mother's womb, And then this start to progress weekly, monthly, of course, change, progress and change the shape. This same medical science, how explanations, and Tibetan medicine and Buddha's tantric, how they changes the stages, very, very similar. Once they have no microscope, but as they explained already, Buddha's wisdom, and today we have very technology, but you can see by exactly what they say, very similar, the changes, very beginning, So this is how penetrate the consciousness into the mother's womb. Then even egg is same, the point is, the egg like bird, It's the same, because first is the cell, and then become egg, and then bone. But this is not very, as normal. But one question sometimes, because they believe, oh no, the consciousness not necessary to comes from past life. Even modern, like the medical science, they can make new beings. Like you take just the seed, the genes, in the machine, and can make some new beings born, like new sheep, animals, or some human are not yet here, but one day, sure, I'm sorry, without parents, can grow up of the human being one day, because there's already animals there, right? So that means it's sure 100% human, also without parents. But doesn't mean that is not reincarnation. Consciousness, the clarity, awareness, very sharp, without form. So if there are karmic connections to linking and can be penetrate into everywhere. Even karmic connections, lacking karmic connections cannot penetrate even though in the mother's womb, cannot, if there's no karmic connections. If karmic connections comes and then even can penetrate into the pillar, because the pillars sometimes they come into like human being. Not all the pillars are live, but some pillar can few days, few weeks can live. Because the consciousness, karmic connections, they penetrate into this pillar. Then the pillar, they feel this pillar is my body. The misconception, mistake, karmic connection, and then very painful because it's pulling the ceiling, very difficult, and so on. It can be possible. So that means these possibilities even can be penetrated, I'm sure, in the car. Sometimes some consciousness, but was Buddha Shakti that doesn't have no car, so there doesn't say any about body. Same logic. But this logic we can guess, we can judge. Not all the car is live, but some car is a few days, few weeks can live. Meant with the consciousness, possible. And that is, if you can drive very nicely and smoothly, they are happy. If you extend, they are very pain. Sure. That means is karmic is like this karmic energy is really linking everywhere. So therefore, even these beings born, but means consciousness also penetrate into this must be and then born, so on. So yeah. Okay, so we are further talking about the preparing of meaningful death and meaningful rebirth. How could we can meaningful death and meaningfully rebirth? So this very much, as mentioned, you depend to your projecting karma. That's the dream of this life. Because your projection is good and then projected, the result, ground, path, and final result will be also good. If the projection is wrong, and then it's the ground, path, and result also will be wrong. So this is a natural rule, karma cause and effect. For example, a two-night dream is coming to you, is a good dreaming or bad dream. It depends to your projection energy. Projection energy means as normal your state of daytimes, what you did most of physically, verbally, especially your mental motivation. Very much 80%, around 90% your two-night dream, the experiencing of your dreams are similar to that of your daytimes actions. So this is a very good example for understanding, so future life is how connected to that of your projection karma. So that's why is 80 or 90% is sure our dreaming, the night dreaming is similar as a normal your life, very similar. That means the imprint of your normal life is stored on the stem, your base of all consciousness. So therefore, when we falling deep sleeping, and then is your friend who cannot follow you in the dream. Your possessions you cannot carry into your dream. Even one coin you cannot carry with you into your dream. Even this physical body cannot with you to go into the night of dream. Cannot. But whether you like or not, one exceptions always follow you, even in the dream. what is one exception for you in the dream? The imprint of your actions during the life and during of your death times, that is for you, because the imprint is stored in the stream of your mind. So therefore, as long as mind with you, and then is the imprint of previous actions for you. That's why in the dream is around 80-90% of your actions in the dream is similar to that of your daytime's actions. These, as oftenly, because a good example, some of my old Dharma friends, already, I told you many times. For example, language. Tonight, your dream, if it comes to you dreaming, and if you speak your friend in the dream, I can say 90%, 99% sure you will be speak very well on your mother language with your friend, English, for example, very well. But the question is why you will be very well to speak English in the dream with your friend? The answer, because the condition is different, but the main cause, the actual cause, subsequent cause, because during your life, since you grow up, start to speak and mother language first until now, it's the imprint, the essence, or the actions of your speech stored on the action of your physical. So therefore, is the imprint stored to your heart, not brain. Of course, the scientific way medical says is the memory part of the neuron, but that's the condition. Not that is the basics of the memory. That is the condition of memory. According to the Buddhist point of view, the imprint is stored on the stem of your base of all consciousness. So these follow you in the dream. That's why you can dreaming very well. Your language, 90%, 99% is very well. The rest presented, even sometimes you're not very well to speak on your language in the dream. Sometimes hard to speak. Because this is very clear, the imprint, how follow you in the dream. So this, and that's one thing. And the opposite example, I'm saying 99% sure you will not wear to speak Tibetan in the dream tonight. Okay? 99%. The why? Because you haven't yet, the imprint of the Tibetan accents or Tibetan language in this life. That's why left 1% can be possible sometimes because another life, or maybe some sign of future life comes, but it's 99% you cannot speak in Tibetan tonight your dream because you have no karma this yet. Karma means action, but you didn't act about the Tibetan language in this life. So therefore, then you see, some of you say, no, I'm not 100% because I have some, learned Tibetan. I can little bit speak like Dashi Delek, right? So therefore, I can say, it's in the dream, possibilities 90% sure you can say Dashi Delek in the dream, isn't it? So this means is how the imprint stored in the stem your mind and for future. So that means is exactly is projection karma is good, and then the good will be good of the projected result in next rebirth. Similar because good karma projections and good result comes to you next rebirth. Good birth come to you, and the projection negative karma is more strong, and the projected result also negative in next rebirth. Because this means is during the death cannot follow you your friend, our friend. And cannot carry any possessions, even one coin, cannot follow you in next rebirth. Even our physical body, 24 hours with us, but when comes death, must be leave behind, cannot go into the next rebirth, not possible. But whether we like or not, but it's one exceptions follow us to the next rebirth. What is an exception? The imprint of our actions during our life. These stored on the stream base of all consciousness, these follow you to the next rebirth. So therefore, the positive imprint is more strong to follow you. You have more chance to future. It's good rebirth, good life, and good the opportunity, the chance, reborn, higher fortune, and so on. and no life, good life, health life, and work life, so on. Unfortunately, is our 80%, around 80 or 90% is a negative imprint for physically, verbally, mentally stored to the your base of our consciousness more strong, and wasn't you sure, or you didn't purifications, you did not purifications, or you don't know how to purifications, and then unfortunately this imprint follow you harming to next rebirth. Is bad, you will be reborn and bad rebirth, or so on. So this, that good dream or bad dream is depend to your daytime's action. You know, as mentioned, you can speak very well or not, which language to the in the dream depend at the daytime you learn or not. Similar in future, good or bad is depend your this life. So this life you are very compassionate and very peaceful person and very positive and good, very nice person and kindness, and then next rebirth also linking to the karmic connection, to linking to further future. So that's why as this morning, the first session, I mentioned you very important achieving conditions before for the dissolving will be dissolving the process or dissolutions to death. That times if you can focus on the motivation positive, this is achieving condition, you know. So this will be performed the achieved result, and the bardo and next rebirth as good comes to you. So this as this morning I mentioned you. And so now let's talk further. Is that before the question what we should do something at the day in person at the moment going to support each other. So in the traditional way, like particularly Buddhist, you can do many different options, attitude, the day in person to benefit, you know. For example, we can say in the Tantric, in the Buddhist, in the very traditional, we say varying liberation, testing liberation, contacting liberation, testing liberation, hearing liberation. So liberation means it can liberate forms, means less suffering, you know, less panics, less worries, less pains. Means the liberation from pain, suffering, panic, sorrow, or so on, and more relaxed and more restless, more comfortable, and especially is a good rebirth and can block in the wrong birth. Wrong rebirth can stop next. So that means the liberation. And the liberation, so there are many kind of different liberation, but generally that's the point. So in this case, you know, what means is a testing liberation. Testing liberation means is the traditional blessing pills. These blessing pills, the substantial, the continuity blessing pills, we linking the energy, the blessing from master to master, from century to century, like almost 1,000 years, or sometimes even 2,000 years before, from the lineage from Buddha Shakyamuni, or from the Nagarjuna, Manjushri, I can say, but it's the Nagarjuna, Asanga, so on, and from India, and the Guru Pema Sambhava, and through into Tibet, and then is those of the holy accomplishment, achievement of the masters and monasteries, monks, nuns. There are something ritual, special, traditional sadhana. They do meeting blessings, so week, month, sometimes retreat, make the blessing pill, collected together, and then this share and multiply into more. So this is the lineage, the blessing lineage, since from thousands years until now. It's many, some monastery and the masters, they sharing you some pills, right? Sometimes they just give you the pill. These pills are not chemical. That's not medicine. That's blessing pills. There's no problem. Any of you have some system of the disease, but this is not any problem for you. Just that's normal like food, tiny food. But it's blessing. This is blessing pill. So these blessing pills can say many different pills. We say money pill, the compassion of Avalokshaya pill, or Manjushri pill, the blessing pills, or blessing pills of the Vajrayana blessing pills, or Dara blessing pills. They can say 100 days blessing pills, or so many different kinds sometimes say, but it's already collected. many different of the system of the pills mixture together, so you can have all the energies, blessings in one pill from the lineage of Tibetan, like the traditional way. So these blessing pills, you can melt into water, as make, and then shrink at the very shaking, and then make it, like water. So and then these water, the blessing pill water, just drop on the one drop in the dropping in the test in the tongue of the dying person. He or she is Buddhist practitioners to explain them, because they have faith to the Buddhism. Say you can tell them, oh, that's a blessing pill. This blessing very powerful, blissful, because the lineage from that was mentioned you. So this just testing liberation. So then you will be more relaxed, more rest, more comfortable, and especially immediate next rebirth, because testing liberation, the blessing energy, change your energy. They can purify easily, short away the negative karma, and even you have if negative karma, but can purifying, can purify, cleansed by this blessing pill testing for you with faith, with the devotion, So without any doubt, you don't need doubt, just testing. Say like this way, explain to them, the dying person, if traditional, and especially that believe Buddhist, is powerful. That's one thing. But in case the dying person is not Buddhist, okay, totally is non-Buddhist, and then still you can use these blessing pills, but don't experience it. That's a Buddhist blessing pill, okay? Because then he or she feel uncomfortable, because I'm not Buddhist, then why they give me Buddhist blessing pills, something in case. So therefore, is the attendant, the wrong people, the serfs. You can use the blessing pill because Buddhists have no exceptions. Equally for all mother sentient beings, blessing to them, and attitude benefit them, try to, as much their abilities. So they dedicated already these blessing pills for equally for all sentient beings. There are no exception, even enemy, okay, can share these blessing pills. But depend the dying person's motivation very much, if how much work, if more pure vision, more pure perception, more faith, and more powerful. That's why important to explain if a dying person Buddhist. But if a non-Buddhist, then it's better don't explain that is Buddhist blessing pill, but can just testing, and that naturally can help them. Even not so very much, but it can help naturally. So you can give with the medicine, or with the food, or with the water, something little bit can chance to testing. That's why blessing pills sometimes we can mix in the water, and the water can dropping in the big river or the ocean, because in the ocean can be connecting so many thousands, millions of the animals, the beings in the ocean, the sea animals, they can testing. That naturally, they have no faith, they have no idea to devotion, but still can benefit because it's testing blessing and contact blessing, can. So therefore, same the logic, the dying person. So therefore, if you want to traditional way sport to dying person benefit the meaningful death and meaningful rebirth, and then keep always with you some blessing pills. Okay, the Buddhist blessing pills, Dharma pills, keep with you, for you and for others. We never know when comes death, so then suddenly it's approaching death to test this. But don't worry, even you will not die, but you can test, even life now. Okay, so therefore it's any times, but especially important during the approaching of death. That time, if the dying person having chance, opportunity to testing the blessing pills, and that's very useful, successful, the testing liberation, that is one. And then hearing with the hearing liberation means the sound, to hear the mantra, blessing, the mantra prayers, like Avalokiteshvara mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, the compassion mantra, 6 syllable, or is a Vajrayana, the mantra 100 syllable, or the 5 syllable shorter, or so on, or Amitabha Buddha's mantra, Om Amin Devasha, Om Amin Devasha, or Amitabha Buddha's name, the prayer. And if you can prayer with the sound and with compassion, of course, with love and with empathy, sympathy to share this dying person, and in the ear, just slightly and naturally and very peacefully, and not boring very loudly, but just the receipt to be chanting or prayer or melody. It's Also with the music, also fine, some mantra prayers and so on. And during the dissolution state of death, and to hear this, and then hearing liberation, the blessings to them. Especially this is the tradition, the Buddhist practitioners, then you can introduce them, because also one important thing is the server, the attendant, the round people who knows the dying person, which deity is more, they have faith. What is the daily practice? Like Amitabha Buddha is more, then you explain them, oh, this is Amitabha Buddha's mantra, Amitabha Buddha's name, Amitabha Buddha's prayer, and then they feel more comfortable and more arising faith, the devotions, and the dedication, aspiration to liberation comes to them, so on, In case, if this dying person, again, is non-Buddhist practitioners, and still is better, good, it can help just the sound, but don't experience it, that is Buddhist. Some prayers and just normal music you can say. It looks like, it's a lie, but this lie is positive, not negative. So in case, So this is the hearing liberation. And then there's wearing liberation. Wearing means wearing clothes. Like wearing liberation means is some traditional mantra. They have the blessing mantra, like necklace. Something you can wearing on your neck or your body or something, the special blessing, and from the lineage comes from the tradition of Buddhist or master or monasteries. You can find from them some special wearing the protections. So this can protect, and the living time and the dying time. As both is good. So some these can burn together your body. You measure the dead person's. The cremation, you cannot take out, you can live together, because sometimes this can also help. So mantra very much burn together, burning. So anyway, the dying person's body with these, wearing these blessings, the mantra on the paper or on the cloth, they have the tradition or some nice things, and done is with them, and this is very good. That's the wearing liberation. And some is touching, contact. Liberation. Touching means is some blessing, the pictures, photos, holy, the sculpture, the text, something from of the tantric or sutric, some the traditional lineage, the very blissful, some special, auspiciousness things are touched, just his head or heart or body or something, drink and share your dedication and prayer, compassion, focus on love and compassion to them, and aspiration to less suffering, less pain, and the immediate next rebirth, good rebirth, and free from low realms, something may wish, and then use this, and then very helpful. That's one thing for the dying person, and testing, hearing, wearing, and the listening, liberations. That's the general. It's simple, but it's easy, but it's very powerful, very useful. And then one other things, if possible, in the moment someone going to die, and then if you can a connection to the other, like very qualified masters or teachers, like monks and nuns or monastery, and call them and ask them and to give the name and these dying persons and now dying, and then say ask a request to dedicate to the rebirth, higher realm, good rebirth, and less suffering, less panic, and during the death, and peacefully die, and reborn higher fortune realm, or liberation, or pure land, or free from low realm, to ask, request them. But you can request generally, but they can do dedicate, but best is, of course, not only empty hand, not only mocking word, but with some offering, okay, with a dedication offering. This also, because it's the different, because the dying persons, between you and the dying person can linking to the dedicator with some auspiciousness things or precious things, because that's more intention and more effort and more wish, and the wish is more strong, as more true from deeply heart, not just say hello like this, It's very, it's intention to this, and then linking the connections, the materiality between the dedicator and the dying person, between, so more powerful. Not only, and the dedicator also is like me. Maybe I don't know this is a good example or not, but you asking me, say, please, can dedicate for this, then something. I'm sure I do.